County, California. It's a different world. Anyways, I think she talked my wife into it.
So it's even before we think, it's before thinking.
Yeah. So it's before thinking. You have these imaginal things, okay? So look what you have now. You have two states. You have a state of the actual experience, the state of the imaginal experience, right? But now, here's the kicker. There's a third state. And the most important one beyond both those states. The third state behind all of this has to do with what Allah wants you to know. So in these two states, Allah looks down in the heavens and says, my beloved slave, meaning in this case, say for you, Rivka, is struggling with her son's issue and with the imaginal issues, but deep inside of her heart, my beloved Rivka does not trust that I have her child held in my grip. Okay, so deep down inside, Allah looks down and says, I see all this and I see all this, which I call the pattern here, and my child, my beloved slave, does not trust that I am guiding this situation, and because of that, she is deficient in the quality of al-wakil, divine trust. So her teaching becomes about Yahweh. Her teaching about the illness in this situation is not an illness, it's her son, but if she doesn't work through it, she could end up having a problem because maybe her heart, could suffer because of the pain, right? So in this case, the teaching for her healing of Rivka is Yahweh. I'm going to give her an example. This may not be accurate fully, but I'm just giving a possibility, right? What? Wakil, the divine trust. But let's say that Allah looks down from the heavens and says, my beloved daughter, Rivka, has not been responsible in teaching justice to her son. And her deficiency is in al-adl, the quality of divine justice. And she hasn't understood divine justice, and she doesn't fully understand it. And for that reason, my ruling is that my beloved daughter needs to learn justice. So now the same situation is no longer about wakil, it's about al-adl. See the difference?
It's about what?
Al-adl, the just.
So it's
Al-adl, one of the names of God, al-adl, the just. Yes.
What if someone has like an overactive imagination and they don't always know reality from actual reality?
Yes.
How does that play into,
That's one of the diseases of human beings. It's called psychosis. That's what it is. That is what psychosis is. Your imaginal world overrides your regular world, and you know the difference. That's what psychosis is. But you have to learn the difference, because then that becomes your teaching. You see, it's one of those teachings. So disease can happen anywhere in this whole thing. It can happen here, it can happen here, it can happen here, it can happen all three. And in terminal diseases, i.e. life-threatening diseases, it happens in all three without doubt.
So the top is that's not the secret you're talking about.
It has to do with the teachings of the soul. It's the highest level of soul teachings. It's not just the cleaning of the imagery, but it's the divine knowing that Allah is seeking from the slave to return to the Lord. Yes.
When you talk about the actual experience and the imaginal experience, could you please explain, make a distinction between them a little more? Especially where the imaginal experience comes through.
Okay, give me an example of something in your life that's disturbing you, if you're open to it. If you're open. I mean, if not, I can go to somebody else. You know,
you can phrase it with this question, if you like.
you want me to say it again? You want to talk about it? No? Can I tell you somebody else?
No, why don't you talk about it? You know.
Oh, I know the situation?
Yeah, I think you know.
Okay.
With the-
Yeah, I think so. All right, let's say that somebody you know was thinking about having a relationship with somebody else. And this man shows up, and he has all the right pieces. He's relatively handsome, relatively wealthy, relatively spiritual, and he likes you.
What else do you need?
But I know, you have everything, Star, you have everything you want.
It's like winning the lottery.
But there's a problem, because somewhere, the more he shows up, the more you don't want him.
This is a Jamal test.
Good point. All right, so this guy, here he shows up, and yet something inside of you says, I don't want this guy, I don't like this guy, there's something about this guy that doesn't feel right to me. And all these voices and all these images and all these things come up inside of you. And so here's this guy saying, I want to be with you, I want to marry you, I want to love you. And the more he says it, the more the opposite comes up inside of you and says, I don't want to marry you, I don't want to know you. In fact, actually, I really can't stand you. What's really going on there? Okay, start below. What's really going on? What's really going on is that at one level, your past experiences are influencing how you see that person. Okay, now this person may have, different things. And it could be that you're right, or it could be that you're looking through the lens of your past experience, and that experience, which has been bad, maybe you didn't get loved by your father the way you wanted, now you're saying, if I ever love that person again, you're going to hurt me just like my dad hurt me, and I'm not willing to take that chance, because I'm going to get hurt, because my dad hurt me, and this guy reminds me of my dad, because I love my dad, and he hurt me so bad. Okay? So this stuff goes on inside of us. Now, whether or not, the person's trustworthy or not trustworthy, all these things might be there, but you know what? Inside of yourself, you're hitting these images in yourself. But then you go up to the imaginal world, and in the imaginal world, you're imagining, well, what would it be like to live my life with him? And would I like to be with him? And what's going to happen? So you have all these images that show up. And maybe one of them is, I think that he's not going to make it. There's something about him I don't like. I think he might not make it. So this one image really gets you. So now you've got old memories, one possible imaginal, and your decision is, I think I'm not going to continue in this relationship with this guy. I don't trust him. Okay? But what you go to Allah and you say, Allah, should I be with this man or not? And then Allah, rather than saying, oh, he's not trustworthy, or oh, he's going to hurt you, what does Allah do? Allah then opens up in this higher Jabarut world the quality of El-Wadud, the quality of divine love, and he says, where is the love inside of you? Where is the love inside of you? Are you manifesting Al-Wadud? Are you the inheritor of the quality of Al-Wadud? Are you the expression of true love? Why would Allah, if this person was not trustworthy, Allah might give you something like the quality Ya Raqib, to be watchful. Or He might give you the quality of Al-Mumid, death, to get rid of the relationship, or Al-Khafid, to put the person down because they're not straight. Why does He bring up Al-Wadud? Why would Allah give Al-Wadud if the answer is that this person is not trustworthy? Something else going on here. If He's showing Al-Wadud, the question is about love, your ability to love, His ability to love, the capacity for love to come together, and what are the images that block love from flowering? You see, Allah is the wise. He goes beyond what we think and what we believe and what we want and what we imagine to the truth of who we are. And He says, what is the truth about this relationship? What's the truth about this man? Does he have love? Can he embody love? Do you have love? Can you embody love? Is your love wanting his love? Is his love wanting your love? What is the true relation of all what do? So the teaching in this case is not about what you think, in my opinion, it's about all what do. See, and that means you have to look very deep inside yourself, because honestly, if this is really operating down here, any man you meet, ultimately, you're going to end up in the same place. Because you're going to get triggered by the same patterns. And you're going to doubt, and you're going to question. So right at the point of commitment and really falling in love, you'll be a runaway bride. Every time. Because you're going to hit the same place. Yes.
In that situation, if what is sent down, if what is sent down, and you get, oh, well, yes, okay, what do you?
Yes.
Does it become happily ever after?
So, sorry, say the last part again?
Does it become happily ever after?
No.
Not necessarily. I mean, sometimes it does, but not too often. Because that would kind of be boring, you know? You don't grow. Allah has to give you some challenges of growth, otherwise you'd stay the same. If you're happily ever after, you don't have to grow. Remember, the way to grow is through trials. Trials bring difficulties. Difficulties make us grow. So if you want everything happily after, that's fine, but you're not going to change your station. You'll stay where you are. Yes?
So how do you determine that it's what, dude? How do you determine what that thing is that Allah's sending you to learn?
Well, this is actually, this is what Gnosis is about. Gnosis, Marifa. The teachings of true Gnostic abilities are the ability through the Marifa, or divine Gnosis, to perceive the tajalli of the qualities, to know what Allah is teaching. And to reach Gnosis, you have to complete the third station. So the walking of the third station, which is the unveiling of the luminous veils, is about the ability to unveil the complacencies in your own being related to the qualities. For example, I forgave them enough. I did what I needed to do. I forgave them, and it's enough now. I don't need to forgive them anymore. They threw stones at me, and I forgave them, and I'm done. How many times have you heard people say things like that? Right? I went to therapy for a year. I worked it through. We're finished. But do you hear forgiveness in their heart? No. They said, I forgive you, and they kind of thought about it, and they said, okay, I'm going to let it go, and I'm, up your, excuse me, goodbye, and that's the end of it. Slipped out of my mouth, I apologize. All right, so the bottom line of it is that's not real forgiveness. They didn't really have forgiveness. So when the sixth station of the third, the sixth substation, or the sixth station of the soul, which is every station of the seven has 7 stations. So there's 7 of the first station, 7 of the second, 7 of the third. The sixth station of the third station is the opening of Marifa. The entire intention of this third station is to acquire Marifa. That's its goal. And it is one of the prerequisites before you can make your fana.
You can still get an income. I mean, it's not like you have to wait.
No, right? Yeah, you can get some inklings of it. And really what we would like, what I would like, what we would like as Sufi teachers, is for you, all of you, to have the ability to open the Ma'arifa in your own consciousness, which you can do through walking through the third station, and to begin to understand the nature of these qualities, not just at these levels down here, but at this level up here, so that you have the abilities to get to the root troubles that are causing suffering on this planet. Yes.
You had said that the disease can happen at any one of these levels. When you say,
Allah.
sorry, the disease happens, I mean, to me, okay, if whoever clears these images, which are compounding themselves, and all stacking on top of themselves,
Yeah.
it will have less impact on the physical structure of the body.
Yeah, because this is the glue that holds this stuff in place. In fact, it's actually what creates it.
But when you said disease happens on any one of these levels, to me, the disease will happen in this case only if it's, say, it's cleared only enough to get married and then still the love is inexperienced and then maybe the heart shuts down and then the pathology sets in. So when you say the disease sets in at all the levels, I don't understand.
Okay, let's say you have a common cold. Okay, so you go on the airplane, you come out, and you fly to New York, and you get a cold. Okay, what's happened in that cold? You sat on an airplane, there's no circulation, somebody was coughing, they had a virus, you absorbed the virus. You got sick, now you have a runny nose and a cough, you have a cold, right? So from a certain perspective, what you picked up was a virus and you have a cold, right? But if you look deeper, there was something in colds that are related to sadness. And that when you get a cold, it actually has to do with a place of grief. And it's a place of something unresolved that's hurting you. And if you clear it, the cold will generally disappear in a matter of 24 hours. But if you don't clear it, the cold might stay on for a long period of time. You may end up in antibiotics because you can't get rid of it, because the sadness is eating away at you. So in both those cases, the law just says, just clear the sadness, and I'll take the cold from you. I just want you to get through the sadness. Okay? But if that cold moves into a full-blown pneumonia, which now is threatening your life, and you're now in the ICU, and you're having to get intravenous drugs, and your potential life is slipping away, your cold has now gone into these levels, and the issue you might have with the suffering of humanity and the grief about humanity that you couldn't walk through is now being expressed through your pneumonia. Because that virus was really about collective grief.
And that's the disease you're saying.
That's the disease. But in my understanding, in my experience, that when I've worked with diseases at life-threatening levels, it's always about these levels of soul experiences that are incomplete that are causing the problem in the person. Let me give you one more example of this. It makes it really, really clear. It just happened just 2 weeks ago. It's a great story.